another murder mystery. I was traveling with my dad around the world now, and one of them, Dad left. It's kind of like around Barcelona, but the tickets and whatever. But anyways, where it stopped, again, gorgeous architecture, gorgeous hotel rooms, gorgeous luxury, old considered luxury places. But it turned into murder mystery. Went down to breakfast with the group, or for the group. Then able to like pack up. Then what I did is I tried to go back to the room. Somehow I kind of felt like I was transported into being kind of like another person, maybe. No, I did, because I was the one being murdered. But then it turned out that as I was being murdered, it's kind of like poisoned, because the ending, the whole point of it was like a drink was Mousy or something like that. Mousy. Mousse was the vision of the person who got murdered. The clue that I got was that on like a wine or a gin bottle or some kind of alcoholic bottle. I'm not totally all familiar with what kind of bottles go for what ones again. But yes. So then what happened was that then I turned into somebody else, kind of like me, but it wasn't me. Then I turned to kind of like Wednesday again. So trying to figure out this mystery of this murder, ending up to an office or whatever. But also what happened was, also I was with a family, or a guy, my supposed father. So I was turned into like a child, kind of like Wednesday. But then but the father of the child that I am turned out that he was kind of like an entrepreneur, and his visa was kind of up or something, so he wasn't sure he was able to continue on travel and able to go on scholars. So we went to this office or whatever, and it was like a library den office, like old kind of, you would kind of picture like in Clue. But then kind of Clue-ish, I know. Now my consciousness is thinking all of this through too. So I'm trying to just remember my vision. So, but what ended up happening is also we bought 3 bottles, and we were trying to find that bottle. It was like, hey, here, and it was like supposed to be like a detective guy. It was like, hey, detective, here's this person, or here's the thing and whatnot that can help you, you know. and she's like, okay, we can't accept this, or you can't leave without finishing the alcoholic beverage or whatever. So yeah, so we stayed there for a little bit because we actually paid attention to that, and we were drinking. And it was also kind of like, then we kind of went to like Buffy. It was like, or not quite Buffy, sorry. So, like Dawn from Buffy? Yeah, like, yeah, no. So, kind of like underage child, like, oh, yay, like, I'm 14. I can drink because we're in Europe. This was all like in Europe or something. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not accepted because we're the parents. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no, I can still drink. Nobody's parents were coming off from an American thing here. Like, you can't, it's only parental permission. In some states. So, we drank some of it, but then what happened is we also, in a kind of drunken state, we saw like, hey, did we drop some and spilled? Ooh, we gotta clean it up. And like, oh wait, this is blood. Oh wait. And then we were like, okay. And then we saw kind of like a body, but also we saw a reflection, and it kind of like looked like a, kind of saw a body, and then we kind of saw a reflection like in the pool of like some, and well, and some that we may have spilled actually. So then we were going, so the person was going to just stab us because or whatnot, because that's what it is. But then as I was going to be trying to be stabbed, I kind of was again outside of my body, being this childlike or whatever, kind of like Wednesday. And why I say Wednesday is because this is where I see that it was like Wednesday person like ish who it was. The bangs, the black hair, the long black hair, 2 braids on the side, you know. And being in the gut. But then what I'm also seeing, because I'm outside of my body kind of seeing this, I'm seeing like white light protect being stabbed. And the child or me or whatever is being protected. And that's when I woke up. That is the kind of like adventures, kind of how I dream. Yep. That's kind of stuff like I want to put in my book and etc. So, yeah. But I can't always write it out as fast as I can, like, orally speak it. Hence what I'm going to try and do again.